Hi, welcome to the Science Museum show space. I'm Alexandra, and today we're going to be launching a rocket. Now I have my rocket here, but in order to understand the journey that our rocket's going to take, we need the help of a very famous scientist called Sir Isaac Newton. Now Newton was really interested in the way things move, so much so that he came up with the 3 laws of motion. And it's his 3rd law of motion that we're going to take a closer look at now. Newton's 3rd law of motion states, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. But what does that mean? Well, he states that if a force pushes something in one direction, there is an equal force pushing back in the opposite direction at the exact same time. And we're going to use my rocket here to demonstrate it. Now I'm going to fill it with a gas called hydrogen. Now hydrogen's a really great rocket fuel because it's highly flammable. That means it burns really easily. And when it mixes with the oxygen in the tube, it should cause a big explosion. Let's take a look. Wow, that was incredible. Did you see what happened? Our explosion caused our rocket to fly high up into the air. But what was actually happening? Now we know from Newton's 3rd law that for every downward push, there is an equal and opposite upwards push. And that was exactly what was happening with our rocket. The explosion caused a downward force, which then pushed our rocket in an upwards direction towards the sky. Well, towards our ceiling. But in order to understand what has happened to our rocket now that it's crashed back down to Earth, we need to visit Newton's 1st law of motion. And Newton's 1st law of motion states that the speed and direction of an object will remain the same forever unless a force acts upon it. Now, our rocket here didn't keep travelling up and up and up and up. It eventually crashed back down to the ground. And that's because there was a force acting upon it. And that force was gravity. Now, gravity acts upon us all the time. I'm standing here in the Science Museum show space and I'm being pulled down to the Earth's centre by gravity. And that's what keeps my feet firmly on the ground. And it's the exact same thing that happened to our rocket. It was launched and then gravity pulled it back. In real space travel, rockets are launched with the correct speed that's just enough to get them out of the Earth's atmosphere, but not too much that they go flying off forever and ever. Instead, they are pulled by the Earth's gravitational pull into an orbit around the Earth. Now it's all down to Newton and his laws of motion that we understand how things move, and it's the reason why we're able to send astronauts like Helen Sharman or Tim Peake up to space. Thanks, Newton!